Okay. Hey, we're going to be sanding this today. We're going to be sanding this job. I'd like you to take a look at some of the stuff that I'm doing. I really like these sand poles. If you look at them, this goes on there really nicely. I really do like these sand poles. I actually posted a video of me sanding with this thing on my Facebook page, and it just, everybody's like, wow, this is an old sand pole. Look at the size difference. There is such a size difference. And I sanded with this one. This particular head here, I don't know, 25, 30 years old. This particular head here. And it even still has the sticker on here, but this is a really, really old head. It's really worn out. It's very, very old. When I'm doing that, I like to get my sandpaper in rolls. I don't particularly care for the kind that are pre-cut because they're too wide. But this one here, I get it in a roll and it's not too wide. And if I'm going to cut it for that, what I will do is I just do 2 6s. So roughly about 12 inches. So if I cut it like this, 1, 2, come up here, cut it. That's perfect size. And then I'll take it. Yeah, this one's a little dirty. I don't like that one. Let's get rid of this one. I don't like it. I'll use it for touch-up. Let me cut another one. Because being dirty like that, it might leave me scratches. So, alright, so there's my 2 pieces of sandpaper. Now I'll take them and I'll just rip a little bit, just a little bit out like that. So it'll grip. So just like this. I'm going to take this piece of sandpaper off here, just so I can show you how I like to load the sand pole. And then this sand pole here is getting worn out too. It doesn't always grip on me like it should. So now I'll take one side completely off. Just one side completely off of here. I'll stick this in on the other side. I'll tighten it up. Make sure it's straight. I look at it, see it's a little crooked. I straighten it out a little bit. Just, you really want to make sure it's straight on there. Now I'll make it very tight. Then I just take it and fold it over and just grip it on that screw, just like that. This one here I made a little short, but it still fit. And if you look, I've got 2 pieces of sandpaper on here now. So when one gets dull, I just tear it, rip it off, and I still have another brand new one right underneath it. I don't like to do more than 2 because you have a tendency when you're going over light boxes or you're doing stuff, you have a tendency to get a little chunk of mud under here and then it starts to leave a scratch. And it's easier to do that when this is thicker. Now this one here, this sand pole here, this one's actually pretty old too. It's tearing out part on me. But you just peel that off, it's all Velcro. And then you put this one on. What I like to do with this one is I try to line up an entire moon, half moon there. So yeah, we don't moon here. And now that one's ready. That one's ready to go. For these, when I go to sand, I usually used to sand everything with this. Everything got sanded with this, but not anymore. Anymore, all I do is I take cover the edges. But what I really wanted to show you, with this was this one butt hook right there. I need to take care of all this too. This butt joint. If you remember, I showed you on an earlier video how to tape this butt joint. Make sure it's flat here. I ended up taping this with Durbond because I wanted to show you. And then I put a coat of Durbond on here, and then a couple of coats of topping, and it looks really, really good right now. So this is very, very smooth. What I really like about these samples is I can run right over this light box. Now, understand there's still some touch up to do around here, But when I go to sand this butt joint, it is just no pressure. You don't need any pressure whatsoever. You can just dust this off really nicely. And all you're looking to do is take off any high spots or any imperfections that you might have in here. But you're mainly trying to hit these edges. If you look very closely, I don't have an edge here anymore. I still have an edge here. That edge has got to go, but this one's gone. If you were to paint this and I didn't sand this, you would see that right there. It wouldn't be hard to see that at all. But here I got a little imperfection here, and I always like to go with the grain. So because this was sanded, because this was all pulled this direction, I like to go this direction. Since this was done this direction, I like to go sideways now. And so I always like to just sand with the grain. And it's really easy. Listen, you just 4 fingers. But I have a problem right here, and I want to show you that too. I need a little bit of mud, and I have it right here. Good. I'll let some touch up on it. All right. This is a really visible wall. I've got a big window here. I've got a big skylight here. I have a lot of light shining down this wall. So this is a very, very visible wall. And if you look really closely right here, when I sanded this, I had a high spot of paper sticking up right there. And if you notice, I roughed up the paper a little bit when I did that. Now, I found in order to fix something like that, I tap it in. I don't bash it in, I just tap it in just a little bit. And then I can take a little bit of mud, just a tiny, teeny, tiny bit of mud on there, and I can pull that tight. And what I've done is I've gotten rid of the paper rough, and I didn't tap it in enough. I didn't tap it in enough, and it's done. Now, this edge will still show when you paint it. Okay, so what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to come back and very lightly sand this edge. I probably don't now because I just ran my finger on it and took the edge away. So I probably don't now. But that's how we sand today. This will all sand out very easily. I really like these poles today because they extend, and I can reach this big high thing way up here from the floor. The paper doesn't seem to be. I don't even need to get up there and sand it. I can do it all from the floor. This one too extends. And I like this one for big flat things. Not as easy to sand from this angle as to see, but that was the California hot patch, by the way, that I did earlier. You can see that on an earlier video. But that's it. That's sanded now. That's all done. I want to thank you for watching. I hope it's educational. I hope you've learned something. So if you really like what you see, please subscribe.